Welcome to Co-op Mode. This is round 111. My name is Mark the CaNERDian. Todd is away, so I'm taking over the show. And I am joined by the specialist guest I could possibly think of getting for this. It is Mrs. CaNERDian, my wife. Lauren, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited to podcast with you. It's been a very long time since we recorded something together. Like we have streamed together before, but it's been a while since we did that. So it's cool to like have you on the show, and usually one of us is kind of occupying the goblin child, and with other people recording, it's hard to get us both out, but now I can pause, and anyone watching this week, you'll see the video version is not us on the video, mainly because I just couldn't really, I kind of ran out of USB for 2 mics, and it's really hard to sync up audio and video. I could have probably set up a camera with my phone or your phone or something, but it makes editing a little difficult, so we'll figure that out. But I'm very excited to just chat video games with you. There's some exciting stuff that we both...
Wait, video games?
Yeah.
I thought we were doing a Star Wars podcast.
Okay.
All right. Because of my vast knowledge of Star Wars.
That is... We're going to pick this apart later.
Remember that guy who... No.
That's not going to be a thing. Before we really...
That's unfortunate. And I did all my studying.
I know, yeah. You definitely really watched all and caught up on all the Star Wars stuff, definitely.
Yeah. He's the one with the little wizard boy.
The one with the little wizard boy. Yes, that's exactly the show that we're talking about tonight. Before we get into all of the stars and all of the wars and the video games, I do have to thank all of our Patreon Secret Friends Squad supporters. Our best bud, Jamie Prinky. I always add an L to that one and say Jamie Prinkley, and I'm sorry,
That's not
Jamie.
Nice.
I know. Jamie Prinky. And, of course, our BFFs, Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias, Missy Merchant, and Andy Milliken. Thank you all for your support. It is awesome to see so many people over on our Patreon. If you're interested in joining Patreon, you can head over to patreon.com/secretfriendsunite and get a whole bunch of bonus content and stuff over there that doesn't go on the main feeds. If you don't want to support us on the main feeds, there's other ways to support us. Just sharing the show with your friends, sending links, sharing stuff that we tweet out or share on social media. Everything helps, and we appreciate everything. But again, very special thank you to our Patreon Secret Friend Squad. All right. Loren, every week, Todd comes up with inane things to drive me crazy with a game called Buy, Rent, Return. And he always picks just the most random things. And even though he's away and I could do whatever I want with this show, we are going to stick with Buy, Rent, Return, and we're going to talk video game movies, because by the time people are listening to this, the Super Mario movie will be in theaters. And I'm very excited. And as we're going to talk about later in the show, we both just watched Tetris.
Yeah, we did.
On Apple TV Plus.
And I stayed awake.
And you stayed awake for the whole thing. You were engaged. So video game movies are on the mind. So Buy, Rent, Return is basically F, Marry, Kill, kind of that to get you ready for how this is going to work. So you have to pick one, like the old days of Blockbuster. You have to pick something to buy and keep forever. You have to pick something that you rent. You can kind of watch it once and then never ever watch it again. And pick something to return, never to watch again. So the options this week are video game. I went with video game movies because it doesn't... You'll see why in a second. So Sonic the Hedgehog Detective Pikachu and Wreck-It Ralph, even though Wreck-It Ralph
Done.
isn't based...
I have my answers already. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, even though Wreck-It Ralph isn't based on a video game, it features a lot of video game characters. It happens inside of a video game.
That still counts, I think.
I think it still counts. You know what? I'm in charge of the
in
show
an arcade
this week, so it counts. So, haha.
Yeah.
So, what are your answers?
Do I do it in that order?
Doesn't matter, whatever
Okay.
order. What one are you returning, or whatever, however you want to do.
Returning Sonic, because as much as you begged me and pleaded with me and said I would like it,
Yep.
I never watched it.
You never watched Sonic?
I never watched it.
Finn's watched Sonic.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Well,
Oh,
he's two.
okay.
He's two. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. So
we don't have the same taste.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Hey,
Returning Sonic. Renting.
what were the other? Oh, renting Pikachu.
And
Renting buying Wreck-It Ralph. Yes.
Fair. All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Love my Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
Not a big Pokemon fan.
Okay.
Played it. Don't agree with it.
Yep.
We've had this conversation way too many times to count.
What do you mean? Cockfighting the video games? Not your thing?
Exactly. It's not my thing.
All right. PETA, calm down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give my answers too, and mine are very similar. I am gonna return Sonic the Hedgehog as much as I loved that movie. I thought it was fantastic.
You did love that movie.
I did,
You
and I've
pushed
watched
me
it
to watch
several
that
times.
so many times.
Myself with Finn. I've watched the sequel.
Yeah.
I love it. But the other two options are so good. I am going to flip the other two answers and rent Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, no, that's not surprising.
And buy Detective Pikachu because I got to see Pokemon in real life and it was delightful and I loved it. So there we go. And I hope they do a sequel or some sort of other live-action Pokemon in that world. Whether it's Detective Pikachu or not, because the ending of that movie
was so stupid.
Well, no, it was great, but it kind of didn't kill the chance for a sequel, but kind of like you don't really have a talking Pikachu anymore.
Yeah.
So it
changes
the potential for a sequel. So anyway, we'll see what they do with that.
But the whole so would there be another? Would it be based on another Pokemon then? Because it wouldn't be Detective Pikachu because...
Well, they could still... I mean, Pikachu is still Ryan Reynolds. You could have Ryan Reynolds as the detective and Pikachu just as his companion and continue to go that way.
Okay.
And so it would still technically be Detective Pikachu. He's still going on adventures. It's just not voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds physically would actually be there for a sequel, potentially.
I'm going for the popcorn and the popcorn only. And if the movie turns out good, then that's just an added bonus.
Fair enough to me. Let's move on to what we've been playing because we've been playing a couple of things. I want to hear...
Have we?
Well, I want to hear...
I've only been playing
You've
one
been
thing.
only playing one. And that's I want to hear your experiences. Todd has talked about this game. I haven't played it, aside from like you handing me a controller.
Opening.
I guess. I created a character kind of thing. Yeah.
You got far-ish.
Far-ish. I barely got out of the create a character thing. And then you handed me a controller for the flight mechanics. And I almost snapped an Xbox controller in two. And that was the end of that. So, Hogwarts Legacy. 100%. Tell us about your... What are you up to in that game now? Because you're still playing.
Still playing, yeah. I had a really hard time with this game. Buying it in general. Because I'm such... a diehard Harry Potter fan, and I've always been a diehard Harry Potter fan, but it was just so hard buying it. I mean, I did in the end, obviously, but the back and forth of how I'm...
Yeah, you feel about J.K. Rowling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so hard to decide to... In the end, I decided to give money my money to the game developers and put her small brain to the to the side. Yeah. But it still kind of sticks with me that was a decision to make and stuff like that. And right. Yeah, it was a very hard decision to make, but in the end I did, and I'm happy with that decision. That being said, the game is very well done, but there could have been so much more. They could have done so many things with it. They didn't touch anything with the founders. There's just like, and it's not even about Harry Potter. It's
yeah. So this is set 200 years before Harry Potter? But that means it's also set several hundred years after the school was founded, right?
Correct.
So you are missing both of those sweet spots by a couple of hundred years in either direction. You're just kind of in the middle of this weird
in between.
Yeah. Goblin uprising.
Yeah,
kind of thing, right?
I think I read where Dumbledore maybe would have been in his first or second year.
Oh.
It's that far back.
I thought he was only 125 when he died.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, so, I read that. I mean, that could have been an unreliable source. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, they could have done so much more with it. It was very disjointed. The ending was weird. I did finish it, and I 100%ed it, of course, because that's how I play my games. Right now I'm doing the Xbox, how it has the goals. I don't know what they're called. You know what those, the rewards.
Yeah, Xbox achievements.
Achievements, yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing those right now because I'm just waiting for Tears of the Kingdom to be released.
That's it, yeah.
So
biding your time.
Just kind of biding my time waiting for that. But I want to say 85 hours put into this game so far.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. All right. That's pretty fair.
Yeah. You know? I mean, it's just a nice game to look at. It's open world. It's very, very pretty. You immerse yourself in the classes, and just walking through the castle and stuff like that is pretty amazing on its own. Not even thinking of the storyline or anything like that. The story's pretty boring, to be honest. I mean, it's, like I said, very disjointed, very, just all over the place, honestly. It's hard to keep up with, but anyway, yeah.
Right. So I did look up while you were talking there. Dumbledore was born in 1881, and this game takes place in the late 1800s. So you were spot on. Yeah,
he could be, I thought so.
Either just around the time he was born, or he's just kind of starting Hogwarts, depending on exactly when it starts.
Yeah, for some reason you start the game as a 5th year. It never explains it.
Right.
It's just you're a 5th year, so you have to get caught up with all your classes and do extracurricular activities and stuff like that. And that's where all the the side quests and stuff come from. But so yeah, you don't really get to interact with the other students other than people who have stuff for you to do. But yeah. Okay. Cool. There's so much they could have done with it.
So little Albus is wandering
little
around
Albie.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Because they don't give a specific date, just late 1800s.
Just late 1800s, yeah.
Generally. So there's a 15 to 20 year kind of
gap.
Here's where this could have happened.
Young Jude Law.
So there we go. Yeah.
Sorry.
Awesome. And honestly, I haven't been playing much new stuff. So mine's gonna be quick too. That's kind of all you've been playing. For the last
honestly.
I have been playing a whole bunch of old games because I got an Ambernick RG35XX, which Todd and I are going to talk about a little bit more next week in depth. Mine had a little accident.
May he rest in peace.
48 hours after I got it, where it does not work anymore.
And it wasn't the baby.
Wasn't the baby's fault. It was totally just a fluke accident that has put my sweet little prince out of commission.
Oh, dear Lord.
However, I wasn't going to let that stop me because I had like a really fun couple of days of playing retro games, especially old GBA games. So with the 3DS eShop closing down, I have decided to hack my 3DS. That went so well that I hacked my brother's 3DS as well.
Are you allowed to say this?
Come at me, Nintendo. If you're listening, let's go.
Oh, come on.
I do not endorse illegal practices normally, but they've shut down the shop. So whatever. Also, every single game I've played so far, I own, which means it is completely legal. It's kind of a gray area,
I feel like it's not.
No, completely legal to make backup copies in a ROM form of games that I own. So far I've been playing the old Pokemon games, which I still own. So Pokemon Gold is sitting out there, Pokemon Ruby, all those old like Game Boy Advance games that now have like the physical cartridges, the batteries in them are dying, which means you can't save and the clocks don't work and all this kind of stuff. So Pokemon Gold doesn't really work. All those old games, they work less and less effectively. But so far, everything I've been playing, I do own physical copies of in some way. Now, have I downloaded hundreds of games that I maybe don't own? Possibly. Or that I owned at some point and then my mother gave them away to my cousins, never to be seen again? Maybe. I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say that it was very easy to hack my 3DS. And if anyone wants some instructions, message me on our Discord channel or directly at @the_CaNERDian on any of the social media channels that we usually talk about. And I can walk you through some stuff.
It's not right.
They shut it down. It's a dead system. What are you going to do? You might as well have some fun with it.
They have, no. They have guys.
They have guys. I'm sure they have guys. But guess what?
You saw the KGB.
I don't care. So 3DS hacking compared to the Ambernick RG35XX, it's kind of cool that I could compare the two. The 3DS definitely is not as powerful, so cannot run PS1 games. Kind of struggled with a few things even on the GBA that I've been playing so far, and I finally found like some filters and some settings within RetroArch that make it run really well. But I don't want to see like Mode 7 stuff. I'm kind of worried to see that running on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, me too.
Stuff that's graphically intensive. However, I have gotten something that you can play DS games natively on it off of an SD card, so I don't need to keep putting in my DS games. Which again, anything I've loaded so far, like it's the old Pokemon like Black and White that I've been loading on that I have the carts of. Heart Gold, have the cart. Just, it's easier than swapping the carts out. Yeah, very cool kind of comparison. Don't know. I'm working with customer service right now with Ambernick. Don't know if I'll get a replacement unit or not, or if I'll buy another one eventually or something. It was such a nice little, I'm looking at it right now, and it's such a nice little piece of hardware. And like I said, the 3DS is great, but does not have the power, so I can't run PS1 games or all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Todd has one. He's taking it to Europe with him, and I'm sure he'll have a lot more stories and adventures with him than I did in 48 hours. But there we go. 3DS hacking is great, and I've been playing old Pokemon games, and I'm very, very happy.
48 hours, though. That has to be a new record.
Yeah, it's not awesome.
No.
It's definitely not awesome. It's and
it just broke so fast.
It did, but I don't think it's like, it's not I wouldn't say like it's a cheaply, I mean it is a fairly cheap system.
Yeah.
But like I don't think it's because of like how it was built or the parts, the quality of the parts that they use or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like they're using an older chip, they're using older screens, they're using screens that were mass produced that they got for pretty cheap. They're using like, kind of cheap components, but the feel of the RG35XX is really, really nice. So I don't have any problems with that. It's just bad luck is essentially how it comes down to. So.
Can I just say that you scared the heck out of me when I found out that you did that? Like, I honestly thought that someone ran over the cat we didn't own, or something happened to Steven the goldfish that we had again. That
Steven has been dead for a couple of years.
Yep. May he rest in peace.
Let's not bring up my dear departed pets.
Sorry.
My last remaining baby, aside from Finn, is my cactus that I can see over in the window. That one's still going strong.
You look like something like
happened to my cactus.
Happened to your cactus.
That'd be a bad day.
It would be a very bad day.
Yeah. Don't mess with my cactus.
No, you scared me.
I was very sad.
You were very visibly upset. Because, and you don't get upset.
Because I don't often get excited about things like this that I get.
Or show emotion.
Or no, but it's been quite a while since there's been a little piece of tech or something. It's probably been, since I got the Quest 2 or something like that.
The useless box.
Well over a year ago. That there's not very often that I get pumped about something. I find something that I want, that I buy for myself, that I kind of splurge a little bit on. Like, this isn't a super expensive thing. It's not like the Quest or the Xbox or something, but it was still like a cool tech thing that I was excited about. Mm-hmm. That I put aside a little bit of money and then something would come up. And I put aside a little bit and then something would come up. I put aside money and so that happened for like a good month and a half or so, that I was like, I'm going to get it. No, you know what? I should spend money on other stuff. And I finally splurged and got it.
Oil.
Yeah, right. Like, I finally got it. Yeah, my shoes are a great example. I literally just kind of fell apart, and it was like, oh shoot, okay, well, I guess I'm not getting it this week. So I finally kind of got it, and then it takes 2 weeks to ship here. It's not like an Amazon thing. You're getting it directly from the company in China, and 2 weeks is still fairly fast, but it was still like quite 2 months or so of researching and looking up and getting and waiting and finally getting this thing. And then 48 hours later it was just dead.
I think this is a good start for our GoFundMe page to get you a new one.
I think I'll be okay.
I think you need to write all of that down and make your own GoFundMe page to be able to get a new one.
Do not start a GoFundMe page for a stupid RG35XX.
In
it's
memory.
Like $70. I'll get another
American.
one. I'm okay. No, Canadian.
Oh.
It's 55 American. I know. It's not bad. I can get myself another one.
Yes,
don't worry. I'm not worried. No GoFundMes, no extra. I mean, if you want to Patreon support us, sure, but that goes towards other stuff. No GoFundMes for this. I'll just get another one if I need to. But like I said, I might get another one. I'm working with customer service right now. We keep emailing back and forth, but the time difference between me and China is ridiculous. So it's like one email per day back and forth, and I send a video of the thing that they ask me to do, and then that's it. So I'll hear back from them tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. But
fair enough.
So that's really it. I haven't been playing anything new. I've been playing old Pokemon games and occasionally a Castlevania or something here or there that I haven't played in years, or like Tony Hawk or something that's kind of all I've been playing. So instead, let's move on to the bonus round.
What?
Yeah, this is past what we've been playing. It kind of ties into what we've been playing, what we've been watching.
Oh God.
So the first part of the bonus round is our Tetris movie review.
Oh.
Because we both, this is still kind of what we've been playing, what we've been watching. And then the bonus round will be another thing. But I'm going to call this kind of halfway bonus round.
Oh, sure.
Halfway what we've been playing. So what were your thoughts on the Tetris movie? Now, before I start, for anyone who hasn't seen this or hasn't seen anything about this, it's an Apple TV Plus exclusive. Taron Egerton is Hank Rogers. We've got other kind of well-known people. Rick Yoon playing Larry, who works at the bank. Toby Jones is Robert Stein.
He was so good.
He's great.
He always only seems to play that one character, though, doesn't he?
I really enjoyed that it was interacting with Mr. Rogers, and he kept calling him Mr. Rogers. I thought that was fantastic. We've got a few other like characters, and basically, I mean, everyone is playing real people. Like we've got Hank Rogers and Alexei. I'm gonna murder this. Pajitnov, the creator of Tetris, basically.
I've been singing it ever since. It's in my head.
The soundtrack is so good. But yeah, basically this is the dramatic telling of the story of how Tetris came to be and how it got outside of Russia and how it got with Nintendo and associated with the Game Boy and all that fun stuff. So what did you think?
It didn't deserve to be that good. Like,
I disagree. I think it deserved to be as good as it was.
It's like, I don't know. Like, it was so good.
It really was.
Yeah. It was one of those movies where you didn't know what was going to happen from one minute to the other. Like, it was edge of your seat to the point where I had to pause it because I just couldn't take like the anxiety of like what was going to happen. And Mark had to look it up and be like, okay, so this is what happens. Everything is fine. Everybody survives.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Accurate.
It was bad.
Yeah. No, I mean,
to the point where I was like hiding under the blanket because I'm like, oh God, this is how they die. Like, this is like.
It's a Soviet.
And it's about Tetris.
It's a Soviet spy thriller.
Yes.
About Tetris.
Like Tetris.
It doesn't make any sense.
About the game, like I played on the Game Boy when I was like 8.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. So, and that
didn't deserve to be that good, but it was like, it was like, I don't know, maybe it would have been different if they had like different actors or something, because those actors were phenomenal in those roles. Like, everybody like it was perfect casting from like main characters to the like background people. Like it was, oh God, it was good.
Everyone was spot on.
It was fantastic.
I agree. And it was, I mean, it was dramatized, so it's not.
Oh, obviously, it wasn't.
It's not a play-by-play of what actually happened in real life. But I'm sure,
but
like, it was still Soviet Russia, like in the 80s. I'm sure some of this was kind of what
kind
really
of accurate.
Went down a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure, like, I've read a few different reviews, and a few of them were like, you know, why the real life story was adventurous enough. I don't know why they had to add this or add that or throw in a car chase or whatever. And I get that if you're watching a documentary or something like that. But I looked at this one like The Social Network or like the Steve Jobs movie or something like that, where I know the real stories of both of those more than I did about this story of Tetris, and I've kind of looked up the history since.
Sure.
But, you know, like The Social Network right away throws out real life because it starts kind of centering on Mark Zuckerberg building Facebook to get back at a girl, where in reality, when he invented Facebook, he already had a girlfriend, so that wasn't anywhere near the equation of what he was doing or why he set out to do what he was doing.
Yeah.
So I look at this the same way. It's like, this is kind of loosely based on real life events, but it's also just an entertaining telling of kind of a little bit what happened, but make it awesome. And not that the real story isn't awesome, but like, this was awesome. I freaking love this movie.
It was like the Weird Al movie. Like, did you know that he wasn't actually engaged to Madonna?
That's a great example, because that movie like really did sell itself as being like, here's the real story behind Weird Al
story,
and how he took down Pablo Escobar with Madonna, and like that was, yeah. So I mean, if you can watch that and be entertained, you can watch this and highly
exactly,
enjoy.
But
every
honestly, that's what I was kind of comparing it to going into. So to have this completely like spy movie basically was like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Like, I still had popcorn left in my bucket
Yeah.
at the end because I was just like so like into the movie.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen.
No.
Ever.
No. It was like one of those rare movies that like we both were just in sync the whole time of like, this is awesome. I'm glued to my seat. Like, we both felt the exact same way about it.
Right.
I'm a bit, you always call me like a movie whore or whatever.
Oh no, you're an everything
Pardon my
whore.
language.
Oh no, you like everything. Your stamp of approval means nothing because you like everything.
I do like everything because everything's great. Everything is awesome.
Everything
Watch the Lego
awesome.
movie. Yeah. So that like, but like this was one of the rare occasions that I was like, that was awesome, right? And you were like, that was awesome. We went to my brother the next day when I was hacking his 3DS, and he was like,
no, you didn't.
How is Tetris?
You texted him like at
immediately. I know, but
we
we like together, like,
yeah,
we're both like, hey, it's awesome. Go watch it. Hey, yeah, you should watch it. The next day, but
we
I
both
texted
texted
him
our brothers
second that it ended. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you did the same. Amazing. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you do not have Apple TV Plus, it is available on a ton of different devices. And if you're an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you do get 3 months free. Sadly, I already gave my 3 months away, so don't come knocking at my door. But if you know someone, you can get this for free. But also just anyone, I think you can get 3 days or a week free of Apple TV Plus. So that's a whole lot of Ted Lasso to fit in and this movie.
It is killing me that we're not watching that right now, actually.
I know. A new episode just dropped as we were pressing record. So I apologize. And this show might be a little shorter this week because of that. And Mythic Quest. God, there's a lot of good stuff on Apple TV Plus. Not that we're like sponsored by it. It sounds like we're sponsored by it right now. But no, I mean, like, Doug Unplugged. We've got stuff for Finn.
Doug.
The puppies. Pretzel puppies, whatever it's called. Some good stuff. We're getting way off track here.
Way off track.
So Tetris movie.
Coming
4 thumbs up. How many chicken nuggets out of a 6-piece of chicken? You don't listen to this show.
I really should.
So I'm gonna fill you in on something I've been doing in the show for almost 3 years now.
Oh dear.
Since Finn was born.
Yep.
And we were in the hospital with him for an extra week.
Yeah.
And we found out, because this was the pandemic and we couldn't even leave our little hospital room.
True story.
Except like once a day when I could be escorted up the hallway to go shower at a very specific time.
And I quote from Mark Carabin.
Oh no.
At least in prison, they get time outside.
They get yard time.
They get outdoor time. That's what it was.
I think it was yard time was the specific
was yard time.
phrase I used. True. So that was terrible to be stuck in a little room. But it also showed me the greatness of contraband chicken nuggets.
Oh my God.
Which were snuck into us through my parents handing off chicken nuggets to a nurse, who then handed them off to another nurse to get them into our room. So contraband chicken nuggets are fantastic, and I've been using those for 3 years.
Gotcha.
To rate my satisfaction with something.
Wow.
So...
Wow.
Out of a full 6-piece...
Glad that's what you took out of that week.
That is exactly what I've taken from our son's birth and the week following. Is how good...
Oh, wow.
How good contraband chicken nuggets can be.
I have so many feelings right now. And not one of them are nice.
So But chicken nuggets, when they're snuck in, they taste so good when you're not supposed to get chicken nuggets.
They were pretty cold.
But they were better than fish from a
hospital cafeteria
that was also cold.
Yeah.
That
I cried so many times
that was not the greatest. So contraband chicken nuggets are the greatness scale that I grade everything on now. So how many out of a 6-piece chicken nuggets?
5 and a bite.
5 and a bite of another one?
Yeah.
What kind of dipping sauce would you include with that?
Plum sauce. No.
Plum sauce.
No. No, I'm always sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour. So 5 chicken nuggets and a bite of a chicken nugget.
And a bite of a sixth.
Of a sixth.
Yeah.
With some sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah.
Whew.
Maybe a side of mayo. No, mayo for the fries. You never do mayo for the chicken nuggets. That's too much. That's unhealthy.
Right. And a little McChicken sauce dips for the
the fries. You only do it for the fries. You don't do it for the nuggets.
I do it for the nuggets.
Oh, that's unhealthy.
It's McDonald's. You don't go to McDonald's and be like, I'm eating healthy. Let's go get a Big Mac.
That's why you get the Diet Coke.
Jesus.
No calories in that.
Can't argue there. As I sip Diet Pepsi. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna give it maybe even not even a nibble of a sixth. I'm gonna say
like
5
the
and a
skin
half.
off of the sixth.
No, I'm gonna say like a good half of that other chicken nugget. You know, like 5 and a half.
Are we using McDonald's chicken nuggets?
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's gotta be McDonald's.
How could I be crazy? How could I be so silly?
And I'm gonna include some honey to dip. Yeah.
You're the only person I know who likes honey.
Why is it an option? Because I'm not the only person. Bees know what's up. Honey is amazing.
Okay.
All right. So the true bonus round after our little Tetris review.
I'm so scared.
What is another video game or a story behind a video game that you'd like to see be made into a movie? We're getting the Super Mario Brothers movie. The early reviews are pretty positive that I've seen so far.
I've seen very up and down.
All the Tetris movies the same way. So if we enjoyed that, hopefully we'll enjoy the Super Mario movie. We have 2 movies about video games on very opposite sides of the spectrum. We've got Super Mario Brothers. We've got the Tetris movie. Anything in between. What's a franchise or like the story behind how it was made? You know what I'm gonna say. What is it?
You know what I'm gonna say.
I do, but the people listening don't.
What am I gonna say?
You're gonna say you want the Doom and Animal Crossing crossover that we've all been waiting for, that I talked about like I didn't even think of Animal 2 episodes Crossing. Ago. No, you're gonna say Zelda, I'm guessing.
Yeah. 100%.
How? Do you have Link as a silent protagonist that doesn't say anything, or you just give him a voice and say, deal with it, Chris Pratt, shut up?
I don't want them to ruin it. So if you give him a voice. That's the thing. That's the risk is what, like, what, yeah. So so it's either have Link as a silent character or have Link voiced by, like, Andy Samberg or something like that, and have them, like, tear it to shreds. Oh, God, I killed him.
I was drinking. Why did you say Andy Samberg?
Because I'm thinking of Carl from like Parks and Rec,
Outside
where
Carl?
everything is loud.
Oh my God! Perfect casting.
Oh, obviously.
I wasn't thinking of Hemsworth or
that'd be too simple. Too easy.
Yeah, Tom Holland has a neutrally kind of voice that I think he can kind of get away with.
He's in everything.
So. He is in everything, but he's a good actor. He has a good voice for that's not like, because Link can't be. I said Hemsworth. Like Link can't be that like, hi, I'm the hero of time. Like he can't be
Maybe
that.
Liam Hemsworth.
He's got to be. I think he has to be a little bit Spider-Man-esque. Like he has to be a little bit like, hey, I'm Link. You know, like not quite the cartoon version of like, oh, wait, princess. But like, he's got to be a little bit like...
But I don't trust Nintendo anymore because they hired Chris Pratt for Mario.
Apparently, he's great.
Apparently
And
he's
you
not.
can't have Charles Martinet being like, "Woohoo! This is me. It's Mario." The whole time. Can you watch 2 hours of that? For real?
You do when you play it.
No, you don't. You're playing it. All you hear is like hoops and whoops and stuff. Like you don't hear him talking.
That's
the whole
Mario.
I know, but he has to talk in the movie.
Why does he have to talk?
Well, they made a choice that he talks in the movie, so then now we get Chris Pratt.
And look how that turned out.
Well, we're gonna see how that turned out tomorrow.
We are?
Well, we
We're
aren't,
not.
but someone is. We're hopefully. I'm gonna go. We're gonna go soon.
Ask me about the buy, rent,
Yeah,
marry thing again.
Pass off the goblin to my parents and go see a movie. That'd be nice. Soon, hopefully. But So do you actually want them to tackle Zelda, or do you want them to leave it alone because you're worried?
I think there could be a lot of potential with Ocarina.
Oh yes, that was gonna be my next question.
There could be so much potential, but they would have to be very careful with it.
I think Nintendo's learned their lesson. I think the 1990s.
Have they though?
Apparently, the 1990s version of Super Mario Brothers, they haven't really done anything since. I think they've learned their lesson. They're going into this Mario movie with at least a clear vision and supervision. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you agree with their choices of Chris Pratt or how they're going about anything,
I don't agree.
Apparently, this has set up multiple sequels, including like Donkey Kong and whatever else. They've set up a world. They've set up a very rich kind of fantasy thing inside the Mario universe. They're making it their own cinematic kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They've made some choices, and again, they're supervised choices, with Miyamoto. You can't say the creator of Mario is making the wrong choices. He's making.
I'm saying it.
You haven't even seen it yet.
I don't need to see it. I've seen the commercials.
So do you trust them enough to do Zelda?
No.
So what's your actual one that you'd want to see?
I want to see it. I just don't trust them. That's not what you asked.
All right.
That's what you get for getting me on the show. Why do you think I'm only on this show 4 times? Why do you think it's been 4 or 5 years since I've done this?
Fair enough. Okay.
Because we can't agree on it.
Okay. All right. That's fair. You'd like to see Zelda.
See in 4 years, bud.
Oh man, Todd, come back.
Okay. What? No, you didn't. You said, "What do you want?" That's what I want, but it's not going to happen.
Make into a movie. Yeah.
That's what I would like to see if they listen to me.
Okay. So directed by Loren Caravan.
Obviously, yes.
I get it.
Yeah,
that works. All right, I like that.
Yeah,
Zelda's a good choice. I think that works. I'm gonna go in a different direction.
Of course.
I have kind of 2 answers.
Shocking.
I know. Is there anything else? What's your second pick? I'll give my first one, and then you can kind of go on. We'll do 2 picks each because I have 2, and I don't want to only give one. So my first one is I want the story of how Nintendo created PlayStation. And that
you stole the words right out of my mouth.
For anyone that isn't familiar with the history, the kind of Cliff Notes version is Nintendo and Sony were supposed to team up on a console right before it was supposed to be announced. Nintendo basically said, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Screw you. We're releasing the N64 ourselves. We're not going to partner with you. And they went off and basically burned Sony to the point where Sony was like, fine, I'll do it myself. And put the gauntlet on and just, kicked ass. So there's a story there that I think whether it's blown up like the Tetris movie or these other movies or whatever, or it's kind of the more documentary style or something I think there's an interesting story there. I think there's a cool kind of drama there between that back and forth of
oh yeah,
you've screwed me over kind of thing or whatever. So I think that'd make a really cool Tetris style movie.
Nice.
Now, for the Mario Brothers style movie, I just want to see Splatoon. I think there's enough lore. There's enough. It's bright. It's colorful. I think there's enough characters in those games that it would just be really cool. Yeah, there's characters. There's history. There's lore to it. There's world building already in those games. I think there's some stuff to tap into with a cool story there, whether it's revolving one of the wars, it's revolving around like an actual Splatoon tournament or something like that, like would happen in the game, and they're kind of getting ready for that. And there's 2 teams, Octolings, Inklings, whatever you want to do with it. I think there's a ton of stuff there that would work really, really well for a movie, and it's bright and colorful, and I think it would do really well. I think kids would love it. I think it'd be fun to watch, and I kind of want to see that. So what's your next one?
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I do.
So as much as I don't agree with Chris Pratt being Mario, I think they did phenomenal casting on everybody else except Princess Peach, because no.
Okay.
Anyway, Charlie Day as Luigi is fantastic. In the seconds that he was in any of the commercials, like you could tell he committed to that role, and he did. He's gonna be amazing in that.
Yeah.
I want to see a Luigi's Mansion.
I think if that's not part of this movie already, then they're gearing up to Luigi's Mansion. I think that's going to be set up.
But with him separately, like with...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fully expect that to happen.
Nice. Yeah. I don't play that many other games, so it was really hard to be like, okay, well, Animal Crossing, because that's pretty broad.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really...
You do a lot with Animal Crossing, though.
Can you, though?
I think so. Tom Nook solves a murder.
What?
I don't know. Something.
What?
Isabelle goes on an adventure and meets Doom Guy, and they become BFFs.
Oh, I love that.
She teaches him how to relax and play, and he teaches her
survival
how
skills.
to rip and tear and kill demons.
Obviously.
I like it. Yeah. So there we go.
Nice.
Yeah. That kind of brings us to the end of the show. Do you have anything else to add to the bonus segment? Any other movies popping into your head, or anything else you wanted to say that you're excited about in the world of video games before we take off?
Really excited for Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears, yes. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we watched the gameplay the other day.
Right. Yeah, we could.
Yeah,
I forgot to add that to the news segment. So there's that extent, like 13 minutes worth of gameplay.
Was that 13 minutes? It didn't feel like 13 minutes.
I mean, by the time they introduced it, it's probably closer to 10.
That guy talked a lot.
But so what did you think? There's a few new mechanics. You can combine everything with anything.
Honestly, it just looks like it picked up pretty much where Breath of the Wild left off. Like it seems to be very much the same game with extra powers.
Yeah. That's basically what they said it's going to be. Like they wanted to reuse as many assets and stuff as possible, but create something new too.
Yeah, that was really Breath of the Wild was pretty much the first like open world, like big game I've ever played and finished, and did everything with. Obviously, because that's who I am and that's how broken my brain is.
True.
Hey. You're not allowed to say. I'm
that
allowed to.
You put in not that your brain's broken. You have a very specific way to play games, and that's
and
the
it
way
has
you
to
do
be
it.
100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be really good, and I think I'm gonna put over 200 hours into that, like I have with every other game I've played. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I should have got you to bring your Switch and talk about the amount of times you put into games. That could have been a fun bonus segment.
Think that's it. If you want to talk for a few minutes, I can do it right now.
No, we'll save that for something else. We'll do a CaNERDian's Corner or something like that follow-up.
Lego Harry Potter is my biggest one, and I want to say it's over 700 hours.
Oh, mercy.
But, I mean, how long have I had the Switch? Like...
A couple of years.
2019?
You got it when we thought Animal Crossing was supposed to come out, so yeah.
Yeah, that was COVID, so 2019.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got it before we went to Disney, though. Because I had it, didn't I, when we were going to Disney?
Yeah. So that was 19.
Yeah.
So maybe 18 or 19?
Yeah. I'm going to say 2000.
Something like that. 2018? Maybe late 2018?
I don't know, but yeah.
I think it was November. I think it was around the same time that I bought maybe my Xbox One X.
Yeah.
This is probably 2018 then.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Sadly enough, over 700 hours.
Yep. We'll go through that. We'll do like maybe a CaNERDian's Corner special episode or something like that.
Yeah, let's not.
But for right now, thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some more stuff, and because I know people liked watching us do streaming and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
we'll have to get you back for, like I said, even a CaNERDian's Corner special segment or something where we talk about some other stuff, or give a little Mario Brothers review this week or next. But hey, thanks.
You're
I don't
welcome.
have to say like we'll see you soon because we live in the same place. So.
You will see me soon.
I will see you very soon. For everyone listening, thank you so much for listening. You can follow me at @_CaNERDian, or you can follow Secret Friends U, and make sure to join our Discord. And again, patreon.com/SecretFriendsUnite. And thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. Until next time, Todd, we miss you. Hope your traveling goes well and you're enjoying all that Europe has to offer. And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.